Yeah.
We are now live.
All right. I gotta find it. Here we go. I guess I can put a hat on. Is this giving me a headache? Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me fix this too. We're gonna go gallery view. There we go. I got a headache wearing that hat. It sucks so well. CJ, I like his hats though. It doesn't get headaches from them sometimes. All right. Let me try to share this. Where we at? Come on, man. Load up already.
There we are. We're getting some people. What's up, Richard?
Oh, we went to 7. That was
Jonathan. What's up, my man?
Hey, shout out Richard. He was on the Team Blunt Talk Winter Chiller Championship team in 2019. He did a great job that weekend blocking. He was a solid, dude. He's a beast. Rezio always gives a man. That guy's a dog.
Brandon, Kenny, there we are. We're getting all right. What's up, Kenny?
It's not.
So, to everybody watching and Joey, today there is a special shout out I need to give history wise. Today, my Baltimore Orioles had a no hitter.
Wait. They're also my Baltimore Orioles. You mention them when they do good things.
For the first time since 1969. And I'm going to be repping them here for the show tonight over top my Try Hard Sports shirt. So shout out to my Orioles. Good job, John Means.
Is that a player's jersey or just like...
It's a player's jersey. It's Melvin Mora, actually.
Okay, I'm cool with Melvin Mora. I owned a Chris Davis jersey for 5 years. Worst purchase ever.
Yeah, this is Melvin Mora. He did quite a job taking over for Cal Ripken, and that was not an easy job to do.
I could rock a Melvin Mora. He was my guy back in the day. But anyways, anywho, we're at it right the number. Let's get this going. Let's talk about Keystone last week. We resume action after Ocean City play. Keith, give us a recap. You were there. You filmed all the games. I wasn't really paying attention. I was busy talking business. Ross was selling sheds. You can go down to Jefferson, buy a shed at the shed lot.
Dude, I was like alive behind. I ended up commenting on the games that already finished.
You were commenting on games that were already done. Yeah. You had an old person moment.
I was in the zone of selling sheds. I ended up having 2 birds stuck in the shed and everything. Anyway.
Oh, man. You had 2 birds stuck in the shed? That's scary, man. You got to watch those birds.
It wasn't scary.
I'm so sorry, man, that happened to you. Do you need therapy? We're offering on-site therapy now at events and tournaments. We got you as a counselor, and I got Tyler as a psychiatrist.
You don't want me as a counselor.
I think you'd be great as a counselor, Ross. You always have great advice to give to people. But let's get to it, Keith. Tell us what went down Saturday in the Keystone Flag Football League.
Oh, it was not the best football we have ever seen. Very defensive battles, as I personally like to see. Low scoring. Outlaws and Venom was the first game of the day. They finished out 12-0. The second game was Outlaws and Villains. That game also finished out 12-0. And then the third and final game was Villains and Spartans, which finished out 6-0. That is by my college, middle school grade math, 30 points.
Mind you.
What's that?
Pennsylvania, mind you. All love the PA. We love Pennsylvania here on TBT.
Yeah, it's 30 points of offense that Saturday morning. Now, we did have...
So 6 teams average 5 points per game.
Like I said, it was very good defensive battles. However, there were some takeaways. And I got to say, my biggest takeaway was on the Outlaws side of the ball. So going into that first game, they have not scored any points, and they have not had any takeaways on defense. In their games combined, they had 3 interceptions. and 2 of them were on the goal line. Their defense was showing up. Now their sacks, oh my goodness. They had so many opportunities for sacks. And they missed so many flags. I had gone up to Tom afterwards and I told him, man, you got to rearrange some of these people because, some of these guys are just not flag pullers. And so I was really happy to see the Outlaws. They really showed up on defense. The offense, I liked your quarterback. Ty Pre, I believe his name is. I had saw in the comments during the game. Some people asked me who it was. Ty Pre, I hope I'm saying that name correctly. Somebody, if you are able to let me know if you're watching. The offenses were looking a little stale. So the Villains, when they started in their second game, they only had 8 players. And a lot of these teams had players that were in Ocean City. So maybe a little bit tired, not 100% ready to go. That is always a possibility. Ty Pre, thank you, Grant. Yes. I liked him. You guys were able to get the ball to move with him some. Stalled out in the red zone. Missed sacks were huge on the defense. Just could not. You gave them too many opportunities. All right. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get caught up with the comments here. So that was the first game with the Outlaws. I think they looked very good going against Venom on defense. Their offense, just keep working with Ty Pre. He showed that he was able to get outside the pocket, make moves. He was able to throw the ball. Venom. Oh my goodness, Venom. Your biggest issue on offense is your snapping game. Lucas was running around like a madman trying to catch those snaps. It was painful to watch. And I think if you can get that center a little bit more accurate, I think you're going to see a lot more efficiency coming out of that Venom offense, because I was kind of surprised to see that they were down, or that they were only able to score 12 points. I would have thought they would have been able to put up a lot more than that. Of course, 2 interceptions in that game. I believe they had 1 in the second game. And the red zone efficiency, you had 2 turnovers at the goal line. A couple things to work on, in my opinion. Chris, the link is, oh, there it is. Just shared there again. All right. All right. So that is my take. Venom on offense, get the snaps under wraps. And I think you're going to be even to explode even more. That's going to give Lucas more time to look around, decide what he wants to do. On the defense, I like what you did. You gave up a couple bigger plays, especially runs with Ty Pre. But when it mattered most, you were able to hold down and either get a turnover or turnover on downs. So I like what you're doing there on defense. All right, and then the second game, was Outlaws and Villains. This score ended up being 12-0 as well. Again, Outlaws showed good work on their defense. They had a 2-point conversion interception, nearly ran back. I believe that was in the second game. And yeah, that was the second game. And a nice lateral or a nice pitch move. It dropped right through Brady's hands. He could have made a move for the 2 points. But that defense was only going up against 8 for the Villains. The Villains only had 8 players to start the game. So everybody playing both ways, shorthanded. It wasn't until really about halftime, towards the end of the first half, whenever their 9th player showed up. And
hold on a second.
yes, sir.
They lost to a team with 8 again.
No, by the end of the game they had 10. By the end of the game, they had 10.
We had 10 too that day, so it's the same thing as when we did it. I'll go back to hiding in the shadows and hitting my bong.
Yeah. So all right. So Joey had to go make it a little bit more negative there, I guess, bringing back previous events with this organization. But nonetheless, you only gave up 12 points to the Villains. They did have a player short. They weren't able to take advantage of it. Villains, they looked tired, and they looked like they took the Outlaws for granted. And by that, I mean the energy levels. The Outlaws were playing with a lot more energy than the Villains were. So I think that's kind of what made this game closer than it really should have been. I would have thought even with 8 players, Villains probably could have won, easily had another touchdown on top of this, or 2. But, they did what they had to do, and they were able to win the game, and that's what matters. The third game, and what turned out to be the final game of the day, was Villains and Spartans. That turned out to be a excruciating game, 6-0, and that 6-0 did not happen until towards the end of the game. The Villains' offense was still tired. They looked like they were just going through the motions, basically. I remember the game was based just around the 140-yard line. It was a trench battle, back and forth. Offensive lines were not able to hold the defensive lines, and quarterbacks were always running out of the pocket, having to make moves on their feet instead of with their arms. The wind, I remember it being windy, especially when I was rewatching the games today. You could hear the wind. Maybe that's why it wasn't so successful with the air game. But they just looked tired. And then the thing that stood out for me with the Spartans, they are making a move to be proclaimed the best in the 4-state region. Now, I'm not ready to give it to them yet. Their previous week before Ocean City, they did, it was a little rough for them. But they have coming up this week the X-Dogs. And as we've been saying all season long so far, you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And the Spartans have beaten everyone that they could so far in the KFFL, except for the X-Dogs. And they finally have that opportunity. So that D-line for the Spartans.
Actually, they beat him in some other league last year, but I don't remember the name of that league anymore.
I did say KFFL, to be fair.
That was just me butting in and being a nerd. Sorry, back to hitting the bong.
Oh my God. Yes, all right. So the D-line for the Spartans, they are big, they are strong, and they know how to pull flags. They had at least 5-6 sacks on TJ in that game, and the Villains did have 10 players at this point. Still, obviously, the second game, so they're even They're still tired. But the D-line really stepped up. They weren't missing flag pools whenever they were in the backfield. And they were breaking through, making life hell for TJ. So, hinting into this upcoming week, the Spartans and X-Dogs are the second game of the day. The X-Dogs have what you may call a warm-up game versus the Outlaws in the first game Saturday morning. So we're really going to see who can proclaim themselves to be the top dog in the KFFL this weekend. Joey, what do you have to say? What's your opinions on this matchup? You there, Joey? All right, you're probably a little busy still at the moment, so we'll get back to you. I see my man Chris Webb.
Hey, Keith, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, my man?
You're fun and friendly neighborhood offensive lineman here.
The friendly offensive lineman
Fun and friendly
my
neighborhood
team.
offensive lineman here.
Oh man, look, see now I wore some style on the show today.
Hey man,
and you have to come and brandish that kind of stuff on my show. Oh,
it's all about the New York Football Giants.
New York Football Giants.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting offseason and not something very usual that we've seen with the acquisitions and kind of bringing playmakers around Daniel Jones. But it will be interesting this year nonetheless, because at the end of the day, this is his last shot. This is his year. Either he's the guy or he's not. And I really like what they did in the draft, trading down. Gettleman historically is not known to trade down. So basically having that Bears first round pick wherever they land, and with Fields and all those pieces, the Bears are not going to have a winning season. So in theory, we should have a top 10 pick and probably a 15 to a 19. I'm predicting 10-6 or 9-7 for us, but we'll see. We have a tough schedule.
Can't be 10-6 or 9-7. We have 17 games now, sir.
Ooh, yes, they did add a game. My apologies.
Yeah, it's throwing me off. I don't know if I like it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
And I think for our one game they had in Miami, so that would be interesting. I have a good friend from New York that I grew up with that lives down there, so probably we'll get tickets and go and see that game. Go see Tua and Jalen Waddle.
All right, well, so the Killer Bees this week, we have the final game of the week, and we play Venom.
Right.
What's your take on the game,
really
buddy?
Looking forward to getting back out at Veteran Memorial Stadium. A lot of it's been a while for our team to kind of come together and play ball as a unit. As kind of everyone knows within KFFL, our guys, some guys play for different teams. So there's guys that were playing for Misfits, Spartans, whoever. Bees. So kind of getting that our entire clan and crew back together will be exciting. And just kind of as our team continues, it's now week 4, correct? Or week 5?
I believe it's week 5.
Week 5. Okay,
Don't
we're into
quote
week 5 now. We continue to kind of build some momentum and gain some chemistry. Got a lot of guys, a lot of definitely kind of role players that are coming along in their own. So really excited to kind of see guys continue to grow especially from a defensive perspective, and kind of continue to see the offense gel.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of people to prove wrong about our offense at the moment. You know, our offense is, not held in the highest regard. Are we going to be able to get that changed, do you think? I mean, we have all the playmakers to be able to make some stuff happen.
I definitely have faith in my man Houston, along with the running game and the receivers. I mean, it's just getting the well-oiled machine kind of chucking along just like a choo-choo train. You got to chuck it, and put it all together. And once that well-oiled freight train starts rolling, no one's getting in its way. And kind of as everyone knows, everyone expects, there's a lot of guys that have not been around that will be around kind of down the stretch of the season. So just getting those different pieces together to kind of play ball is really all the Killer Bees need to do. And the only people in the KFLFL that's going to beat the Killer Bees is themselves. So let's get that straight. I don't see anybody being the Killer Bees. Y'all can post whatever you want, talk shit, don't really care. We'll see you on the field next week. Venom, can't wait to hang 50 on you.
Oh, so what do you think Venom proposes with, or what do you think their biggest challenge is as a team facing them?
From our standpoint,
Venom, what is their toughest?
We've played them already once. I think they really struggle with just getting enough playmakers on the field. And from a defensive standpoint, just being able to play man-to-man coverage with our receivers along with get pressure. So kind of as everyone knows in football, it's all about controlling the line of scrimmage. From a defensive line standpoint, you got to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. And if you can't get pressure, you got to be able to cover somebody. But it's not fair to a DB to be able to cover a guy for 5 hours and a defensive lineman stand at the line of scrimmage. You got to find one or the other, kind of have that medium balance. As you know, as you talk shit about the Giants really kind of created that blueprint for being able to create pressure with 4 men at the line of scrimmage, which made it a lot easier from a defense perspective to drop 7 in coverage. So really kind of cool in that aspect. But from a standpoint, I believe Lucas Hall is the quarterback. Great athlete. Huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
he's a team
guy. Very shifty, can make some guys miss. So it's going to be very important for the Bees defense, especially from a defensive end perspective, to be able to contain him, use the sideline to kind of dictate and push them back into where their help is, along with just always DBs and safeties keeping their eyes out of the backfield and playing their man.
And I can't really disagree with you. That's basically what we're going to be trying to do.
Football 101, bro.
Yep. So while I have you on, I think most people watching and that will be watching could agree that Spartans and X-Dogs would be labeled the game of the week. Would it be fair to say?
I definitely agree with you on that one. Both very solid teams, have very good chemistry. And I know the X-Dogs have been around for a while and they've been playing they've played together for a long time. So again, with that kind of earlier remark about chemistry, they definitely have that chemistry. Definitely from a O-line, D-line standpoint, and just need a little bit more skill players to kind of even that out. But if you kind of watch the film, they execute very well from controlling the line of scrimmage. They just need those playmakers to get them over the top to score points and stop people from scoring points.
Who do you think is going to end up coming out on top of this game?
To be honest, it depends who shows up. I really think it's a very evenly matched game, but Spartans have a way to kind of just pull stuff out of their ass. So I'd have to say Spartans.
Yeah,
they've been pretty hot. They've been on a roll. I'd have to say Spartans.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. That is absolutely for sure. I cannot wait to call it. I believe that game time is 9:30 Saturday morning, Memorial Park Stadium, Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Joey, are you around, sir? Would you like to make your presence felt? Give him a. Oh, there he is.
My guy, Joey Blaze.
There he is.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Chris,
how you living, man?
Keith, how y'all doing?
Doing great.
I'm all smiles, man. Just slinging some Pepsi Cola and enjoying some pigskin or talking about some pigskin skin.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Yeah, y'all back in action this weekend. Y'all be
It's been
taking
a while.
Yeah. Playing Venom coming up. You know, we talked about earlier the cause of last week's offensive issues. Was it great defense? Was it bad offense? You know, I don't think it's either personally, going back to that discussion earlier. If anything, I think everybody is suffering from a bit of a hangover from last weekend.
Right.
You know, I always talked about the effects of traveling. The biggest effect of traveling is that post-tournament hangover teams tend to get, usually after playing in a tournament for the first time in a bit. For instance, I go back to when Broadax back in 2015 played 4 games in Ocean City, and then the next weekend, their 6th game in an 8-day span was against us. And they were very lackadaisical in the game. When I say us, I mean the Survivors, the greatest franchise in West Virginia history. And me personally, looking back at it, I feel like they were very lethargic in that game against us that day. We actually almost beat Broadax that day. We only lost 19-14. Coley Jones, 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 141 receiving. Dude was a baller that day. Also, we got somebody else trying to chime in. A man from West Virginia who's trying to make a name for himself right now. He also went to the Berg. Let's get him in here. Mr. Lucas Hall.
Lucas, what is up, my man?
What's good?
There
It's nice
he
to have
is.
you on
There he
finally.
is. My God.
What's up?
How you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Happy to have you on. So, big game coming up this week, my man. You know, I wasn't there the last time you guys played. I was at a pool tournament. So I was not there. I was not there.
Right?
This week I will be there.
Wait, Spartans Fest?
No, we haven't played yet.
Yeah, they haven't played yet. It's the first time. Yeah.
Oh, is this still? Oh,
I think you're thinking of Spartans.
That is the Spartans. Yes, that's
you're
what,
thinking of
that was the
Spartans
game I
prime
missed.
time. You're thinking of Spartans prime time. This is not prime time. This is Venom.
No, I
Prime
know.
time. Y'all coming back? Just wondering. Or is YAFFL scared?
Ooh, shot fired there.
Nah, trust me. I haven't forgot about what was said at Ocean City weekend. We'll get to that a little bit too. Let's talk about it real quick. Let's talk about Ocean City, actually. Let's go back to that real quick.
Hey, Joey, I got a quick question that I just want you to cover a little bit with the.
Also, whoever's got the TV on, please turn it down or off.
Seriously, Green Driver tried to help you.
I got a quick question. Can we talk about the officiating within flag football, whether it's the KFFL or Ocean City? There's certain officials, not saying it's right or wrong. There's no consistency, I would have to say.
Well, I'll tell you what the biggest thing is about it. If you want my honest opinion with the officiating, the referees around here, they do a really good job. You know, I got a lot of respect for Brian Davis, Tom Jones, and Keith Rizell. The 3 of them have put in work over the years. Brian's a veteran. He calls the game right. He got a lot of praise in OC. Tom, I actually observed Tom in OC a little bit. Tom did wonderful. Tom does a good job. He shows the work. Keith is very specific to the rules. He wants to make sure the game is interpreted in the rule book. Lucas, again, it keeps cutting to you. There we go. Perfect. But, you know, in the circuit, and this is what I try to tell a couple of you guys prior to the Ocean City, circuit ball and league ball in this area are 2 different things. KFFL, you know, a lot of what we do is modeled after the Washington County Flag Football League just south below us on 81. And, you know, we use the officiating from there, Tom, Brian, and Keith, and that was just how they were. That's just how the game was taught. And then you go to the circuit, it's different. The physicality is on a whole other level because they play a different brand of ball that is brought to us in the 4th state.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's the difference between Pee Wee football and college ball. It
boils down to how it's officiated, you know.
For sure.
Locally here, it's always been something where the games are called tight-knit and close, which I get. You want to do that in order to prevent cheating or injury or anything like that. On the circuit, it's all at refs' discretion, and the refs out there, to me, are more like enforcers, not officials. They're there to make sure the game stays in order, They're there to make sure that no one is blatantly cheating. And when I say blatant, I mean not a flag guard where his arm dropped. That won't get called on the circuit. They don't call that on the circuit, ever. A flag guard on the circuit is when you straight up try to use your hand in some kind of way to motion away from the person behind you. And I feel like a lot of that is just how it was taught around here in the fourth state, going back to the Washington County rules and officiating put in place by the people who ran it there. And when you go to the circuit, it's a different game. That's why I tell guys, like, if you want to get the best bump you can get, go out to OMFFL if you can. Go up here to KFFL if you can. We're getting better at it. I feel like we're going to adapt to the circuit game long term. The biggest problem right now is getting used to it. And I think over the weekend, a lot of you guys coming out there were not used to coming back out after playing all those games the previous week. You know, the Spartans defense, or offense rather, they could have put up any points on the Reckless Villains. I mean, Tivis had a pick. Tivis had a pick. Can we talk about that?
It was beautiful. And it was beautiful.
My man, Chris Tivis. Big shout out to Tiv, man. He got a pick.
He also had 3 sacks.
3 sacks, man. The guy's got more sacks at a grocery store, more pancakes at IHOP, more coverage at Verizon 5G. Tivis is everywhere. Best two-way player in the country, bro. When Tivis is there, it's just different.
Who is it?
Tivis. Shout out Chris Tivis, man. If you want an MVP for that Reckless Villains team so far, I'm going with Chris Tivis. That's my guy. He gets a lot of flack. People sit there and say stuff. But to me, you know, in my opinion, Chris Tivis is the man.
County finest.
Got to give a shout out to Big Tiv, man. That's one of the biggest shout outs for this weekend. Hey, I want to give another shout out real quick to a guy who he's playing a lot of ball nowadays. Killer Bees in the KFFL. You know, he's a Warrior in some other league. And also, he made his debut at OMFFL Sunday morning. Taylor Suiters became the first person to ever appear on 2 different live streams for 2 different leagues, for 2 different teams, against 3 different opponents in the same day. My man woke up 7 o'clock in the morning. He hit the highway. He drove from Greencastle to East Side Baltimore, came out to Kenwood, started the Center for the Maryland Titans against Venom, not the West Virginia Venom, the Maryland Venom. Shout out Robbie Sparks and company. Like to see that Venom versus Venom game. I want to see Lucas versus Robbie. That needs to be a quarterback duel. That'd be a sick duo. That'd be a crazy game to watch.
And that boy went to the gym at 5 a.m. the day before.
Yeah. And, you know, after that, he had to play Elite Rebels at A-Team.
Putting the work in.
Yeah. And then afterwards, he comes back, goes over to the boat ramp, plays the football game under a bridge against some unremarkable team, and ends up, and that's where he made his second appearance. I'm sitting there, I'm watching Keith stream on Sunday. I'm like, Taylor made it to the Warrior game, man. Shout out Taylor Suter. Shout out to all the guys. AJ did that a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah, he did.
He played for the Misfits at OMFFL against Rampage and No Mercy, and then after that, came right back to County, played for the Spartans.
Yeah,
that guy. Shout out to all these players who are weekend warriors, man. We're going out there. We're fighting hard. We're playing our asses off on the field. This is the best brand of flag football I have personally seen in my 7 years in the fourth state.
Lucas right here is one of those weekend warriors.
Who's that?
Lucas right here is one of those weekend warriors.
Let's talk to Lucas. I got to know something, Lucas, about OC. I got to know about it. C bracket. Let's go back. I want your perspective. You came in, you all played 7-1-7 Elite, a.k.a. Prime Time, a.k.a. Gusto Land, a.k.a. depending on who's running the team that day. Give me your thoughts on that game, man, because that was a duo between you and Champ Moore. You guys had an absolute battle out there at that quarterback position.
Well, I just try to give my guys the opportunity to compete, and sure enough, we did, and we showed out and won.
Yeah. You guys balled out. The offense was put up. But the next game was a bit of a struggle. And, I sat there watching, and I thought to myself, this is a pretty intriguing matchup. Lucas against a team where his coach on Venom is the safety, his best rusher on Venom is the DN. This is a nightmare matchup for a quarterback, playing against his own guys. And, I felt like, while, both quarterbacks struggle, but again, it's familiarity. It's two league teams. I saw that with Bad Boys and Rampage later that day. When you have two league teams mix it up in a tournament on day 2, Money Day, where the games matter more, that's where everyone's best comes out. And I look back at that game where, both struggled, but, dudes, those defenses were on fire. That Bees defense was actually good. There's no shame in you having only a score at the beginning because they held Team Petty. They held James Battle, one of the smartest quarterbacks.
Shout out to Marvin Johnson. Shout out to Carlos Sanchez. Shout out to Ozzie. Shout out to Keith Giles. Those boys balled out straight up.
Yeah, that was.
The Bees only gave up 25 points the whole Ocean City tournament.
And that was against two teams that are in my current top 10 in B. And against the number 2 C team, which would be technically my number 15 B team. We'll talk more Bs in a little bit. But, Lucas, what exactly went down during that Spartans Bees game where you were replaced with Dakota?
I have no idea. That was discussed with the captain and the coach. So I have no understanding. I wasn't told. I was just told that I was getting switched to receiver. And I was like, all right.
That's anticlimactic.
Just like out of nowhere, they just went for the I just didn't like it. I know it was a game where you all didn't move the ball and you want to get a spark against AFN, but I felt like against an affiliate team where a lot of their rushers are older. You got to think, a lot of AFN's core is late 30s, early 40s.
No, I was definitely one to take a look at that.
That would have been a hard matchup for them. I think their D line, for as big bodied as they are and physical as they are, I think going against Lucas would have been a different game. I think Tri-State would have won with Lucas at quarterback. That's just me saying, though. But they didn't feel that way. You walked away. That was it. You ended up wearing blue last Sunday at that Bridge League. And then now here you are, just 2 weeks later. We've seen this before, Ross. Remember when a certain player left an A team to play for a B team? And then 2 weeks later, we had a game against them? Crazy times that was. Woo! Spring 19. Good times. But similar scenario here. Similar kind of thing. Walking away, going to a team. How's it going to be when you line up a quarterback this weekend against that Spartan defense? Where
can't wait. You have no understand. You don't understand.
I don't know, Lucas. You got yourself a tough matchup on that defensive front. You got the big man, Marquise Farmer. You got Dan Dane.
Say what you want.
Parker potentially. Cortez.
Say what you want. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I don't know, man. This might be a tough one for you. I think they're pretty upset about what went down.
You said that all my games. Like, I've never got the respect that I always, you know what I'm saying? You always saying that, but it's okay. I'm going to prove you wrong again.
You have so far, man. I wasn't sure what Venom had at the start of the season. I really didn't. I didn't know if Coach O was back out at quarterback. I didn't know if Devontae was still going to be quarterback. I wasn't sure if Daniel might have came back. So I wondered to myself, like, what do they got? Now we see they got Lucas, and it's a whole new team. You know, the other day I was sitting there under the bridge, and Shane Zabir, you know, of the Warriors. That's what he plays for, Warriors. You know, Shane Zabir asked me, like, TJ Williams, Lucas Hall, who's the better quarterback? And I'm not going to lie. Just like TJ gave that Survivors team in 2016 the spark they needed, that led ultimately to too much talent forming, that led to adrenaline rush, I think Lucas Hall provides that kind of spark to a team. But albeit, like I said to you, You remind me a little bit more of Justin Fox in a lot of ways. Justin Fox, Marty Spruce kind of quarterback who can throw the ball, but ultimately the quick footwork is what throws off a lot of defenders. And when you have quick feet like that, not many rushers are going to be able to get a hold of you, especially at that angle. When it comes to pulling flags, you got to come at the right angle. If you come at the wrong angle and miss, you grab a jersey, you grab a belt instead, more yards tacked on, or worst case, you miss, and Lucas is running all the way for a touchdown on you.
We played 5 games so far, right?
I think you're at 5. I'm not 100% certain. We're close to it. I do know we are down to 2 weeks after this week, and then 2 weeks off, and then playoffs.
Okay, because only one of that game was my whole team was there. My whole receiving core was there. And guess what? This Saturday, my whole receiving core, my whole team's going to be there. So it should be a fun one.
Dude, I feel like it's going to be a really fun one. Like, this is a matchup I've been looking forward to ever since Ocean City. Ever since all season, you know. I looked at when you started playing a quarterback, I actually thought to myself, man, if the Spartans could find a way to utilize this guy with Keenan, I even thought of that idea, man. In my head, I was like, what if they did a 2-quarterback thing, a Boone TJ kind of thing? Stuff like that I think would have been sick. But now they lose a player like you who can catch, who can run, who can throw, who can play defense. Question is, though, are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for AJ? Are you ready for Damn Dame? Are you ready for Marquise? Are you ready for this attack the Spartans are going to bring?
We're just going to have to find out, Joey.
I can't wait. This is the game. This is going to be a hype game. Don't get me wrong, and I do believe this is after the X-Dogs game, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Giles.
And yes, that is correct.
So
Spartans Venom is game 3 of the day.
So when you look at it, that's going to be after X-Dogs. And if the X-Dogs have the dogs, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The Ball brothers, Officer Kinsler, Officer Brady. It's going to be tough for that Spartans front. Keenan is going to need some time because if that X-Dogs D-line gets through, it could be a long day. Last season, you know.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. And, you know, last season when they played each other at Marty Snook Park, that was a very tightly close competitive defensive game during a season where X-Dogs weren't really playing their best defense. X-Dogs surrendered 23 points per game last season playing in whatever that league's called. I forgot already. But you take a look back at that Spartan X-Dogs game from last season. It was tight. It was competitive. It was defensive. I think this one is going to be very similar. The real matchup to watch, to me, in that game is Matt Eisenberg versus Damian Cason. Those two have been going face-to-face for many years. We go back to the fall of 17 in the playoffs when X-Dogs took on too much talent in a game where Dame was in the backfield almost every play. Dame probably could have sacked Matt every play if he wanted to that game. But Matt just kept making him miss at the right times. Matt got the ball off at the right times. And as a result, X-Dogs upset TMT and got to the finals that season. The next fall, they had a rematch in the playoffs. Same thing. Damn Dame held Matt down all game. But then X-Dogs score, 40-yard bomb, onside kick, they recover. Matt heated up, 50 yards first play, touchdown, all in less than a minute in that game. Unfortunately for the Dogs, they missed a 2-point conversion, and 80-yard went on to win their first title. But every time those two face off, Matt's offense, Damn Dame's defense, it's tough for Matt. Matt has a hard time moving against a Damian Cason defense. He has only put up to date, when you look at it, about 6 touchdowns in the 4 matchups they've had. and it's a team. It's going to be different. I do feel like this is going to be a competitive game, depending on what kind of shape the Spartans are in. If their rushers are worn down by the time we get to this game, I think it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that doubleheader. This is the test for the Spartans. If they want to prove to be the best team in the 4th state, they got to take down the top dogs, and then they got to go and make an example out of Venom. Going to be a good one. Can't wait for it. Can't wait.
Oh, I thought they'd get a reaction.
Oh man.
I think I think if the X Dogs beat the Spartans in that second game, I think Venom might be able to capitalize on some tiresome guys, some frustrated guys. A mentality can always play a part of the game. So there's a lot of variables that could go into that third game.
Yeah,
I like being the underdog. It's fun.
it's going to be good, man. I'm really excited for both of these games. And so I know you got the first one. You got the second game as well, Keith, or do you want me to get it because you played the 4th game?
No, I should be. You mean Spartans Venom?
Yeah, I want to make sure.
Yeah, you can. You can go ahead and get that one.
All right, perfect. So Keith's going to have Spartans Dogs game of the week. I'm going to have Spartans Venom. We're going to have some fun on Saturday. This is going to be 2 really good games. Anything else you have to say tonight, Lucas?
Actually, yes. I want Keith to, give me his, summary on the game he think is going to happen this Saturday.
The summary that's going to happen.
Okay.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to be out there on the field, right? And, you and me, we good. We become pretty good friends, I'd say, right?
For sure.
So I don't want you to take it personally whenever I pull 1 flag or 2 flags, or, just don't let you run and make you throw the ball. I can attack you from a distance. I can attack you right up front. And not to mention the other dogs on that D line, they all coming ready to be hungry. Oz, kind of a new addition.
Yeah, he's a dog.
He's a dog. Not to mention his kick game is on point. But our D line's gonna be ready for you. So don't you worry.
Nah,
we're gonna.
I want the offense situation.
You want the offense
because I don't think Tay's gonna be there.
Well, I can't say he is. I can't say he isn't. What kind of teammate would that make me if I would go ahead and give out team specifics? Not a very good one.
For sure.
So, I got to keep a little bit of bias here, but, I am a killer bee when it comes down to it.
For sure. All the way.
My killer bees, I think this will be the first time in really 3 weeks we've been able to play a game together in league. So we are going to be coming out a little fresh looking, I think. And not to mention, I'm going to tell you who our best defender is, all right, and who's going to be our best defender against you in that 4th game here Saturday. Would you like some insight?
Go for it.
Our best defender is going to be your center.
Don't you bully that man. He's been around a while.
I won't go out of my way to bully nobody unnecessarily.
He is. He's gonna get it right.
He is a good guy. Right. I've talked to him, a good handful of times. I am not hating on the guy.
Oh no!
But that snap game is terrible, bro. You are jumping around like crazy, flying around like as what I'm doing right now, not as a player. The amount of time that you lose in the pocket is unreal if you would add it up to just having to recover snaps, not to mention yards. Like that, you're giving away at least 2 seconds each snap trying to retrieve one of these snaps. Imagine what that can do for your sight of the field, or I know you like to run, so imagine 2 seconds ahead of game running.
See,
Like that's crazy.
That's what people think. I don't like running. I really don't.
Well, I would assume you like to run. If I was that fast, I would like to run. However, I am not that fast. But well, I don't know. We'll see. My catch-up speed can catch up to you if you get by me. But we'll see that on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm about to get off here. Y'all have a good day.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, Lucas. I'm excited to share the field with you, my man.
I'm excited to see how it's all going to go Saturday. That Spartans Venom game, I feel like it's going to be very legit, and I'm really looking forward to it. I got to say something, man. Flag football here in the 4-state, it's certainly grown. And, the other day I was sitting there and I was talking to damn Dame about how much things have changed in the last 5 years alone in 9-man, or even flag football around here, I should say. And then this past weekend happened. I got to say, man, I'm proud of this team. They went down to East Coast Nationals, and boy, did they make a statement in the name of the 4-state. Got to give a shout out to these guys. They're a bunch of familiar faces, and you know them very well. It's the shout out. Here they are, Killer Bees, your rec champions down at East Coast Nationals 5-man. Got to give a shout out to Eric and company. I think it's a road show right there in the back, standing over the white football. The other guys, I don't know. But I got to say, man, Killer Bees, they went down to East Coast Nationals. They won the Rec League championship. I got to give it up for the Killer Bees. 2 5-man championships already. Y'all won NED last year. Y'all won 5-man rec down at ECN. That's a big statement. Eric Hardy, you're a genius, man. 9-man chip and a 5-man chip. I got to say, if there's a new Jerry Jones in the area, his name is Eric Hardy.
Oh, my God. I fucking can't with you.
Yo, you guys did great at East Coast Nationals this week.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, we did. Shit.
Yo, I got to give it to y'all, man. Like, you all, to me, really showed what this team can do when it comes to this sport. I got to give a lot of praise to the Killer Bees. They went out, they won, they got that dub. East Coast Nationals 5-man contact champion. Trying to see what's going on. Have you got a guest chiming in?
You got somebody popping up there.
Oh, that's who iPhone is. I had no idea who was about to pop in for a second. It just said iPhone on my end.
Oh, shit. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you, Dame. I can hear you.
Yes, we can.
How y'all fellas doing today?
Doing good, man. Happy for Keith Giles and the Killer Bees, 5-man rec champions down at East Coast Nationals. Sorry I couldn't make it, fellas. Just wasn't the right time.
The talent pool is deep, man. I don't know where Killer Bees are pulling from, but shoo.
I got to tell you, man, if those guys can make it up here to the 9-man team, I think Cardi has a dynasty on his hands. But let's get back to 9-man. We'll talk a little more 5-man in a moment. But going back to 9-man real quick, Dame. Spartans, y'all played last week against the Villains, 6-0. I'm sure you enjoyed the old school game that broke out on Saturday. Very defensive game. I know you're all about the defense. You gave TJ Williams a donut, even better. Give me your thoughts on that game on Saturday.
So, I mean, everybody watching, it was a little sloppy on both ends. Spartans offense, Reckless Villains offense, our defense, their defense. We all made some boneheaded plays and just didn't capitalize on opportunities that was there. But Defensive wise, I'm happy. We shut TJ down pretty much. Like Keith was saying the whole time, the ball pretty much stayed around that 40-yard line area. It just a little tug of war here and there, but
It
he
was a
couldn't really do
great
much.
trench battle.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, TJ's definitely got himself some offensive alignment and defense alignment over there with Reckless Villains. And shit, he even had some weapons out there with Wayne and Coley and Marley. So I mean, he might only had 10, but he had a good 10 out there. They probably would have beat half the other teams in the league with that 10. So I mean, we realized they were missing a lot of people. We were missing a lot of people, but we're finding ways to win. Like, it may be ugly. It may be 6-0. It may be coming back after we were already up by 2 scores. Most of these games, young teams are losing. Young teams find a way to lose when they're starting off these teams and shit. The fact that we're having these humbling moments and we're still coming out on top with the W, I mean, we're learning from these situations, definitely. So it feels good. And then to hold TJ to 6 points in 8 quarters. That, yeah, I mean, me and TJ personally, we got a little thing. Like, I don't ever want to lose to TJ. TJ don't ever want to lose to me. So
Rivalry that goes back all the way before Too Much Talent became a thing.
yeah, shit. Honestly, it even goes back to a little bit of high school shit. It's been 10-some years this shit been going on. So don't ever like to lose to that man. So the fact I could hold his offense, the Spartans could hold his offense to 6 points in 8 quarters. And shit, even that touchdown he did score in the first game was a little tight end dump and we missed flag pools. It wasn't like he's been picking us apart. The fact I had that man talking about wait till Boone gets here, like the fact that he's as a quarterback and the captain of the team and he's relying on somebody else to sort of come save the day is kind of funny.
Now, I do want to say one thing. The Villains did have a touchdown in that game. It was only called back because TJ's flags were backwards, and AJ called it out.
He got pulled on like the 5-yard line.
Leave it to
He didn't even score.
Pitch on somebody again.
Nah, AJ played that shit.
That was a brilliant football play, and I kind of praised it whenever it happened. Dirty, maybe a little bit, but it was all fair game. All fair game.
Yeah, but it's good strategy. I did similar last year where I called out Ron saying the F word and told Keith he said it, and Keith threw the flag. Like
I mean,
if someone's breaking the rules, you got to say something. We can't have rule breaking in our game like that.
AJ was smart to keep that in the back pocket and be like,
absolutely. And but that score could have been completely different had his flags been on properly. So it was really just that difference.
Who does that fall on?
That falls on TJ.
That's what I'm saying. So TJ all around, even when he did something good, he fucked it up himself. Like, so it's just, it feels good. Like the smiles for real. Like it's good to see TJ look like shit out there. Just was a good Saturday.
Let's look forward to this Saturday, though. A different bit of a challenge coming up in the form of the X-Dogs.
Wrong side, Joey.
Yeah, I know. It's a mirrored look on my end, so I have to guess every time. Dan, you first took on the X-Dogs back in 2017. We've talked about it a few moments ago. Let's go back down memory lane. Let's go back to that fall 2017 semifinal game. Too Much Talent, X-Dogs. Memories of that battle. I talked about it earlier. The best part about that game is watching you versus Matt the entire time.
So it was funny. I actually like. I know a lot of people probably do this, but I go back and watch old games all the time, especially if we have an opponent coming up and going against Matty Ice, that offense and that O line. I definitely go back to all the games. So I remember pretty vividly, like it was shit. The first drive, I had 3 sacks on just the first drive alone. And then Matty Ice made adjustments. You hear him like, I remember hearing him like when I watched the live back before you condensed it, looking at Kinsler and saying, hey, pretty much like, who's picking that up? Like, he's done rushed the A gap twice, then hit the outside, then came up then looped around the middle. Like, who's picking this up? So I mean, he communicated with his offensive lineman. Next thing you know, I'm getting a backside guard. I remember it like it was yesterday. I come through the hole easy, and bam,
We're
Kansas
live
smacked
again from.
Oh, okay.
We going old school.
First down. It's
Oh my goodness.
with a big gain.
He's got
Oh,
2 times.
you
We
going
got
to the
old school
beginning?
here.
Is this the first play? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. This play, TJ lets Tyler Baum get a bomb. Kenzo peel back on that
Yep.
one.
Tyler Baum, shout out. The KFL a few years ago.
Once again, TJ
They were
fucking
number
up.
7, by the way, on this game.
Yeah, this was shit about what 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, fall 17, man. Hard to believe. Hard to believe how long ago that was. Oh man, those classic TMT jerseys. You all replaced the purple T-shirts with gray jerseys with red numbers.
There's another one. That's what I'm saying. Like I think already I've had 3 sacks at this point in the game, and it's still the first drive. They just scored their first and only offensive touchdown of this game. Because if you remember, the touchdown they scored later in this game is off intercepted pick or whatever.
Yeah, this game was just absurdly good. See, okay. Let me see if I can go back a little bit. Yeah, hold on. I see it now. Next drive. Here we go. Dane comes around the corner. He gets it. You right there. You say 4. There you go.
Yeah.
Let me go back to that beginning because I missed out on the 3 sacks in a row to start it because I was trying to pinpoint a good way to start. There we go. Here we go. Right off the gate.
Yeah, the first 2 plays, I think it was, or the first 2 in the first 3, something like that. It was definitely, it's playoff football, man. You got to bring it. This was the first trophy I thought I was going to go get in this league, so I was extra hyped.
First sack. Then you got a quick. Then Matt had a quick one out here, and that's when Baum got the big play. Yeah. So we missed Sony for first play. There we go. So we weren't that far behind. This was a wild game, though. Like, this was the game where, I always said this was the best game of that season. Boone tries to go for the pitch. Classic here. I think this is before the run back on the pick. I'm trying to get to that play.
Yeah, that shit was sickening. We had just, because I remember a couple plays before that, we had just stopped them from getting in our end zone. They were close to scoring, taking the lead or whatever. And
they want PI here, but no one calls it on that side.
Yeah. This was a battle, for real.
Yeah, this was like one of the best games that I watched on that field in that park. Like, this was just an insane game. And it was during a time where nobody really knew how to guard the TMT offense. Nobody seemed to have a grasp on what to do. You see what Boone and them are doing. Like, back here, this is later where Boone throws the last play. He gets picked. He throws to the lineman. That's turnover on downs. X-Dogs get the win. Let me go back. This was the play. Boone hesitates. It's thrown up, picked off, ran back, touchdown X-Dogs, just like that.
Yeah, and then I remember that shit. Everybody was sick. We were all like Boone, CJ, Q, all of us. Chuck, we were just devastated. This loss and then that AFN loss are probably my two toughest losses I've taken in this flagship. And then a loss in 8-man in the semifinals of states, the total chaos. That loss hurts too. But these two losses in 9-man, them shits, true. You don't forget losses like that.
I can't. It's a tough one, especially like I look back at that TMT squad you all had in 2017, and for you KFFL guys, you younglings, you know, me and Dame are old heads at this point. We've been around for about over 5 years in the 9-man game. Dame remembers when it was just one bracket back in the day in the sport.
Yeah.
But you look back at it, it's crazy to think like that TMT squad. You had Chris Boone, TJ Williams, AJ Reynolds, Cannon Hall, Q Murphy. That's just a little bit already off the gate.
Yeah.
That was a team that came up to the state of Maryland, brought that Virginia 8-man style offense up here, and just blew our minds. And not even the affiliates could guard it that season.
You got to think about it. Like, not only did our offense, Chris Boone, and whether it was Chris Boone and TJ or Chris Boone and Chuck, they changed big time. The offense is out here, like, putting up the numbers they did. You had seen it from products and shit, but the way we were doing it, spreading it out with the two quarterbacks, that shit had never been done. But then you also look at, for this league or for this area at least, defensively, we changed the game too. Because when I came up here, that's part of the reason. That year we lost in 2017, we faced the one team that could have stopped our offense. They were disciplined enough to stop our offense. That was the only team in the X-Dogs in this league out here. But every defense out here played a cover 3 with some outside linebackers, and that's pretty much how it rocked. There was no 4 corners on the field at all time. You didn't have nickel corners. They were outside linebacker type players, and they were just pretty much to cover the flats, hook the curl a little bit here and there, like. And we came in here and we were showing 4, showing 5 at the line of scrimmage sometimes with no safety, manning up in your shit. And I mean, nobody was playing defense like that out here. Nobody was even thinking about that shit.
Going to the next year. Here we go. This is the footage of the playoff rematch the next fall over at North High. This was about when I wasn't going live, so the footage is a lot better than what it was at the time. Memories of this one, Dane, the semifinal that led to your first league championship with ADR that fall of 18. This was a game where you guys actually dominated for the most part. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of dozing off filming because I was thinking, like, this game's over. It was a 2-touchdown lead that the X-Dogs had in this game. You guys had. They trailed by 2 touchdowns in this game. And look, Matt trying to run option pitch here. Just this ADR rush, man. Like the pursuit, the angles, the way you guys played defense was just insane back then.
Yeah, it's definitely, don't get me wrong. Like, I love my boys over here at the Spartans, and we definitely doing something, and we trying to, be the best defense we possibly can be. And we may look like this a little bit because of the schemes I'm running and shit, but I miss this shit sometimes because this shit's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, he buying time. Matty Ice is a dog. Like, he's gonna get his plays and shit, but just this defense as a whole, the front worked with the backside, no homo. Like, your D-line and your DBs worked hand in hand. And it's a little bit of what the Spartans do for Like you see the D line getting pressure, you see the DBs taking advantage of the pressure. Because I don't care what you say, yeah, it's flag football, but if you start bringing it enough and you start bodying up these quarterbacks, they don't want to get touched. They're gonna get rid of it a little earlier, force something, and DBs got to step up and make plays.
Facts.
But
Absolutely.
this game, to keep it 100 with you, like X Dogs really didn't have the athletes. They have the O line and stuff, and Matty Ice is gonna make plays, but we're all over the place. Like they don't know what to do with our front. We're coming. Like they're literally broken plays every time. Like there's no other choice. Like it's showing 5 at the line sometimes. We just miss flag pools. X Dog's going to take off on that.
And you saw that earlier on that play where you guys had George had the rights in the backfield, and he just
got to body up.
Yeah,
we got to body up.
Can we give praise to George Nunn? He's been around since 1993.
I was about to say, how old is this man?
George Nunn, I think he's my dad's age, so about 51. He started in 93 playing 9-man flag football up here in Hagerstown.
And he still gives it his all. I love watching him on the field.
That boy Coley? Yeah. Coley with the pick. That's what I'm saying, but you saw right there, Matty was moving the ball on our defense. He's gonna find a way.
He always does. Like, that's the thing about Eisenberg is that, and you go back to that game in 2019 even. Let's go back and like that one, you remember the championship game 2019. We hyped that one up in a big way. There was a lot of talk going in. Both teams were clearly the 2 best teams in the 4-state in that year. And then we got the matchup in that championship game between ADR, X-Dogs. This one was just a crazy one to watch early on. As, X-Dogs, they played closely. This was actually a very close game at halftime, around 14-13. ADR took the lead. That front was sick. That you have Brady, Kinsler, and Chili. Yeah. Just that's
them 3.
And then the snaps having a hard time to boon there. And when you have a D line like that, that really can cause a lot of issues fast. And Matt trying to get away from the pressure. This ADR line just always brought the intensity.
Yeah, we do. Not only do we have dogs up front, because it's just like the Spartans. Spartans got dogs up front too. We do different things. Sometimes we overload a side. Sometimes we stunt. Sometimes we just bring everybody. And when you mix that up with the fact that we got guys who can already win one-on-one matchups, it's going to be a problem up front. And then also DBs. You got to have DBs because if you can't cover nobody, it don't matter how quick you get there. If he open in 2 seconds.
And against X-Dogs, your DB's got to play really good discipline because, those broken plays that Matt and them are really good at can just cause so many issues for a team. And if your DBs lose sight of what's going on or get distracted by one thing, it's over because the receiver's already behind them and Matt's already seen their location.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, he finds a way. Like there I go missing the flagpole and big play. That's when I think George beat the old man, beat the other old man. That's when George beat Boone on a post route or something.
Yeah, Boone took a beating on defense in this one. I think Baum stiff-barbed him too at one point on a touchdown play. But
yeah,
we made a big comeback in that second half.
Oh yeah, we made a change. So we're gonna let Boone focus on offense because he's gonna have to carry the weight on offense. And we went ahead and pulled in another DB. And I think that adjustment, I don't think really They might have some big plays, like maybe here or there, but for the most part, I think making that move, making that adjustment really shut down. Because at this point, it's like, oh shit, X Dog's about to do this thing. We made an adjustment. We did what we had to do. And I mean, the rest, you'll see.
Man, it's always a good one. Like whenever we see that matchup with you and Matt offensively and defensively, I'm really looking forward to that one. Let's go talk about another one. Venom, the second game. I know you're focused on X Dogs. Venom's not a thought yet. What are your impressions though of this Venom team? You know, they're also a bunch of guys coming from West Virginia playing in the league. I feel like they've done a really good job at their first season coming together as a team and putting together an underrated squad here in KFFL. We weren't sure what we were getting, whether it be Green Machine, Survivors 2.0. But this Venom squad, I feel like they are a squad that while they may not have all the talent in the world, they have enough guys that they'll come out every single week fighting. They're just a
fight
really tough team.
They're definitely gonna put up a fight, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, believe it or not. But this is gonna be their Super Bowl on Saturday. They want to beat the Spartans. If there ain't nothing else they do this season, Venom wants to beat the Spartans. So they gonna bring it. We gotta go out there and handle our business. There is no reason why we don't beat them handily by like 2 or 3 scores easily. They got some athletes. They gonna go out there and they gonna fight from start to finish. They played the X Dogs close. They played some other good teams close. So they gonna bring it. They're not gonna lay down. Lucas is a dog. Ain't gonna take nothing from him. He's shifty. You're gonna have to body up. You're gonna have to come at him in waves. Everybody gonna have to stay in their lanes and get pressure and not over pursue or not get too far upfield. It's just you gonna have to box him in there and make him throw the ball. I don't know. I haven't really seen how he does when he gets hit a couple times. So I mean that's gonna be something we're gonna have to see how he reacts to that, because it's gonna be a physical game in them trenches, and Venom O-line ain't ready. I'm just keeping that 100. Luke is gonna have to run.
You know, I talked last week about someone has said to me that they felt like Lucas was a younger TJ. I didn't see it quite like that. You may have known TJ when he was younger, though. What quarterback would you compare Lucas to the most that you've seen so far in your 9-man journey, Dane?
You know, it's crazy because I mean, it is sort of like a little TJ as far as some of the moves he makes out there, some of the moves he makes off the field, leaving teams because he might not get what he wants and how he wants it. So it honestly, it is like a little TJ out there. I mean, he's going to make you miss. He's an athlete. He can play anywhere on the field. He's not going to sit in the pocket and pick you apart. It really doesn't matter if he has a good O-line or not. He's not going to sit there because TJ's showing that shit this year. They're sort of the same in that aspect as they want to get out the pocket regardless. Against some of the teams in the KFFL in Washington County, you can do that shit. Against other teams, it works, but unless you really on the circuits, you gotta be different. Because once you get against some good teams in the B level and then the A level, any team, you're not going to just – he's not a CJ Tarver. You know what I mean? CJ can even throw the ball, though. So that don't work like that. So I really do see more like a TJ kind of vibe, like if you sleep on him. And if you don't have dogs up front, even for a long day, but he ain't going to pick nobody apart. I don't really care who he has at receiver. It does no good. TJ has Wayne, Coley, CJ. So, I mean, you look at just TJ, for example. He has some of the best receivers in the whole Forest State on his team. And he's not picking you apart because he needs to buy time, have a play breakdown, have the receiver win on a second route. So it's just you got to stay disciplined playing guys like that. And, yeah.
And we'll be looking forward to it. This Saturday, it's going to be a good one. A doubleheader, a challenge for the Spartans. Kicking off 9:15 against the X-Dogs, 10:30 against the West Virginia Venom. We're looking forward to it. Anything else you want to add tonight, Dane?
Nah, just good luck to everybody. Spartans are going to be bringing it. Best believe we have no other choice. If we don't, we could lose to either one of these teams. Even though we've won the last couple games, you can ask the captains on this team. They're not really happy with the performance said in KFFFL recently. So I definitely see us coming out here hungry, proving that we want to, we the number one team in this league. So we have no other choice but to bring it. People tune in. 9:30. It's going to be a battle. Respect to Matty Ice and the two Jasons. Shit. Jut, the rest of them boys. Respect the X-Dogs. But we got a point to prove. And hopefully everybody wake up ready to prove the point for Spartans game, because we gotta shut up some of the noise we seeing on these lives during our game. See a lot of people tuning in and a lot of people talking. So let's go shut these motherfuckers up.
And we're looking forward to seeing what the Tri-State Spartans do this weekend in the Keystone Flag Football League, as they'll have a doubleheader against the X-Dogs in what will be the game of the week for sure.
Maybe game of the season up to this point.
It's going to be a really good one, man. I don't know.
I'm excited as hell for this one.
Primetime rematch at some point. That needs to happen soon.
I agree.
But
yeah, that game would be.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me on here, man. Keith and Joey, y'all my guys. Appreciate the love. I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say about who y'all think's going to win. So I'll keep watching for y'all do y'all's little picks and shit.
Heard that. I didn't even realize. Yep. Nope. Sounds good. Appreciate it, Dane.
All right, bro.
Oh, man. Talking about the picks. We did recap all the games from last week, and we have looked back at a little bit of Ocean City here today. We reminisced about some history matchups. And speaking of history, who is that I see up there in the square there, Mr. Blaze?
The man who won the first ever 5-man A and 9-man A championship in the Forest State, Mr. Chris Boone, a Keystone Flag Football League legend, undefeated as a starting quarterback on that field.
Shit.
Is he the best quarterback in KFL history? We'll see. But right now, Chris Boone added another trophy this past weekend when Showtime and the Killer Bees, of course, won
and the Killer Bees
5-man contest.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, Boone?
Shit, just my damn voice is gone. Too much yelling and screaming and celebrating over the weekend.
That's a voice well earned.
Knowing you, Boone, you probably played about 15 styles and 45 games.
Nah, man. What? I was supposed to play with Free Smoke and them guys after we won our championship for 5 non-contact, but at that point I was too happy and ready for a beer, and I couldn't even think about nothing else other than that. Finally got that national championship I've been waiting on.
It's been a long time coming, Chris Boone.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Showtime 5, man, you know, it's a Keystone show, but, you know, some of the Showtime guys, they rock with us up here. Some of you guys are some reckless villains from what we told last week. We heard the word earlier. TJ said it. Wait till Boone gets here. I heard you on live say a few weeks ago, I got my play in.
But unfortunately, I'll be in Florida for AFFL. So, because I just heard about the date just now, you know, through you guys, and I guess it's the second weekend in June.
It is right after AC. That's the current plan.
Yep, and I'll be gone. So me and my guys will be in Florida. So
well, I guess TJ met next season then.
Yeah, well, you know, originally, you know, we was gonna come up and help out when we could, but that was the main reason why we didn't put any type of Showtime team in it anywhere, because right now we're committed to this 5 and 7 man shit. And we just didn't want to put ourselves out there and not be able to play in playoffs and stuff like that.
Gotcha. It's understandable, man. Like, you know, up here it's a little more stricter with attendance than other leagues. They want you to make about 3 games. It's a long drive for you guys. I know you and a couple of your guys right up from Martinsburg, Inwood area.
Right.
And on top of that, you're traveling a lot already. You're working about 5 days a week. As soon as you're off work, you're headed to a tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, man, we've been grinding in this 5-man shit hard for like the last year. And all of it finally paid off over the weekend, man. We took some bad losses in some championship games over the last year. And you know, we learned a lot from them and was able to come back and get this one this weekend. All of them had game-winning drives. We scored at the end. We had defensive stops before we got to score. So, the whole team played their ass off, man. And like I said, we took a couple losses throughout the year and learned from them. And came back and won a natty finally. Finally got a ring. Finally.
And, you know, we were there 3.5 years ago when you, Chris Boone, became the first quarterback in this region to ever win a 9-man championship at the A circuit level when you and Adrenaline Rush won Hagerstown. How does this moment winning 5-man compare to that first 9-man chip you got in Hagerstown?
The 9-man was special because it was all the guys that we started playing together with. And the sad thing is we never got to see that team play on the 9-man circuit. Unfortunately, for whatever it was, we had our best team there and then never had that team again. So, you know, like I said, that team right there that we won with was our original group of guys that we played out of Winchester with. And that's just what made that special, because it was, you know, it's friends and family that we won with.
I remember.
And then
it was a very sentimental moment seeing you guys celebrate that day.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we all became family that day. It was great to be a part of. Like I said, those are all the guys that we learned the game with and we started with. So that made that special. And then this weekend, just all the hard work of getting a natty, it was amazing, man. Cause just to win at that level, you know, because everybody was doubting us for a while because we kept losing in championships or losing in the Final Fours and shit like that. Felt like we wasn't going to get over that hump. But the guys stayed together, and we, like I said, we learned from every experience. I know we lost to the GOATs at Nationals. They scored at the end with like 47 seconds, and I couldn't make the final drive. I failed us. I let us down in the national championship in Florida. But then you turn around this weekend to the semis, exact situation. They went up with 50-some seconds. We drove right down and scored. We was down 5, or we was up by 1. They scored with 50-some seconds. We went right down and scored a touchdown with 11 seconds. It got the 2-point conversion. So we learned what we could do and couldn't do in that situation. We played OTF, our first playoff game, and we actually lost to them in the Final Four in a Baltimore tournament. With 18 seconds left, we was up 5. A receiver ran a fly, and Sean Parker tripped with him and fell down, and they just got a wide open touchdown on like a little crossing route. So we played them in the playoffs. We were tied with them. They had the ball. We actually knew what play was coming. It was the same play they ran to beat us before. We stopped it. We got the ball and went down and scored it to end the game. So all the shit that we went through throughout the year of how we lost in Final Fours and championships all came through for us this weekend. So just to get over that hump and get to be on that biggest stage and be the best 5-man team in the country is pretty good.
And I gotta tell you, man, I think I think this is your greatest achievement on any flag level. Like this is
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
This is a natty in your home state.
Right. Yeah. And I had a game-winning drive under 18 seconds in all 3 of the playoff games. So I actually played my best football at the right time. Not that the whole team didn't. The whole team played great. I mean, Tavon Baker was the MVP, and he was clearly the best player on the field the whole weekend. There wasn't a player out there better than him. So he walked home with the MVP. Mayo walked out of there with the defensive MVP. He ended 2 games with interceptions in the playoffs. So that's pretty tough too. So, but for me personally, I played my best when I needed to play my best, and we got a ring because of it. So I felt good on my end, and the whole team, we all supported each other and played well. There, not one time through the whole weekend did we argue about anything. We stuck together, and we finally found our way in this 5-man shit after a year, and I really believe we're the best team in the country.
I think there's no doubt about it at this point. You know, you go back when we were there 10 months ago at East Coast Nationals, main event championship game. That came down to the wire. And then you guys got revenge on main event in Florida, beating them. Then you go back, losing to the Valley Goats down at UFFL Nationals. Then beating the Valley Goats in the semis to head to that championship game over the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, what people don't realize about this past weekend, it was probably the best comp of any tournament we've ever been in because every team was extra loaded. Like the Goats had Webb and Pomo. So it wasn't just like people's normal 5-man teams. They were all extra loaded. They all had top-notch talent added to their roster. So for us to go out there and get that done, man, it's fuck. I'll remember it forever.
Man, that was that's one of those wish I was there to witness kind of moments because it's been sweet to see like guys that we've been watching play and grow over the last 4 years. You know, earlier we were watching that TMT X-Dogs game from 2017 with Dame.
The one in the fall.
Yeah, the semifinal.
Yeah.
We've watched both. Well, actually, we watched both games, all three games, 2 semifinals and the chip game in 2019.
Nice. That was the best. The fall one was the best game I ever seen Damian play. He was the best player on the field that day.
Yeah, he balled out, man, and
Yeah.
it's I always like seeing that matchup. I always say between Matt and Dame, just seeing each guy trying to like outdo the other every play. It's insane.
Right. Exactly.
Let's get to the talk of this weekend's games, gentlemen. With that transition, let's go and start it off. First, I want to say I really want to see 5-man start being played at a larger level in this area. You know, Showtime's in it.
Yeah.
We have a talent pool of like close to 500 players in this area, maybe more than that. I've lost track at this point. We just have guys pop in and out each week.
Yeah.
I think the market is there for it. It's something I'd like to see happen. I think it's something where a lot of the skill guys, and I know big guys might think it's not for them, but there is place for big guys in 5.
Yes. And to be real, most of the top teams use big linemen. So for teams to think they don't use linemen is kind of bull, because you go Judah uses a big lineman, Main Event uses a big lineman, the Goats use a big lineman, Infinity, who we played in the championship, is from Carolina. They use big linemen too. So all the Becks use big linemen. So realistically, if you take, and Fruition plays big linemen. So out of the top 5 teams in the country, Showtime is the only team that don't use big linemen. So for, big guys, don't get it twisted when you hear 5-man and you think it's only for skill guys, because it's not.
Facts, absolute facts. Let's get to predictions, fellas. This week's games. I don't know how much KFL have you got a chance to watch yet, Boone?
I pretty much watch it all. I'm just that guy. I like to keep up with, my friends and the leagues around me, shit like that. So I've pretty much watched, I might have watched damn near every game, but maybe like the sorry ones.
Like last weekend's games.
Right. Well, once I hear a game is like 35-0, I won't check it out. But games, if they're similarly close or I haven't seen them play, I'll watch them, just because I'm a freak kind of guy like that. I just need to know how every player is and how they play.
No, that's one of the reasons why after this weekend, I believe Chris Boone has solidified his argument as the greatest flag football quarterback in the history of the 4-state region. I don't think there's an argument for it at this point, and it's because of what he just said. He studies players. He watches games. That's something where being around Boone and TBT, it was insane just watching him call plays and control not even just the players on his team, but the defenses against him. Of course, Keith, you saw that firsthand on a few occasions yourself as a defender.
Yes, sir. It's not easy whatsoever. Even if you can get to him, you're gonna miss his flags. You're gonna miss
even on 140 he's hard to get.
Now, I do have a question. Are we ever going to see your full-time return to the KFFL?
Man, maybe in the fall. We'll have to see. Right, like I said, right now with 5-man and AFFL is kind of hitting. I like what y'all doing up there. You're a fucking. It's a good league, a good field. You're great. A lot of guys up there are great. Everybody's so nice and shit. So it's really nice. You can go up there and chill and hang out, even if you got a bye week. So I do like what you got going on there. Now in the fall, what day will you play?
I believe we play on Sundays.
We are gonna be looking into that very, very soon.
Okay.
Let's just put it like that, because it's going to be an interesting rest of the year ahead. But let's talk spring first. We're still about a few months away from fall. I'm sure we'll have some details on that sometime around July.
But I haven't won the league up there yet, so I definitely will be there to get that championship. 100%. So I will have that on my resume
You
before I'm
won
done.
last year. Like we just won one last year. Did you already forget?
I didn't think we won the league. I thought we won the tournaments.
Nah, that was the league we won last fall.
Oh, that's right. We beat the Bees and them. Shit.
Yeah, you were
right.
on 1 foot. Remember?
Yeah.
You're right.
You told the whole line, make sure you don't get sacked and don't allow to sack.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Who forgets
Okay,
about
well,
championships he's
yeah,
won at this point?
Whenever you've won so many.
Yeah, I'm part-time up there for now on then, I guess.
Well, I feel like he's just been saying he won the East Coast Nationals so much that now he's just like kind of just throwing anything out. He's just so used to saying, I want this championship, he's just throwing anything out there.
Nah, I like to have one every league around. I like to have at least one in. So I got a couple. I got to get to OMFFL, and I got to get Virginia Beach, and then Maffle. I'm gonna get one of them too. So once I get those three, I'll pretty much have all of PA, Virginia, Baltimore. I'll have all that shit locked up. So I'll have one of every one. So that's the goal.
And then at that point, Boo should put on like the Thanos thing, and then
Yeah.
There we go.
So that's my goal. I mean, to get one of every league, and then I want to. Next up is Dion's $10,000 tournament, and I need that, and then I'm headed to AFFL. So, that's my goals over the next 3 months is those two things.
I'll see you at AFFL, New York.
I'm going to Florida. I didn't go to
the New York one.
No, I didn't go to the New York one. We went.
That's going to be like that's in a few weeks. Memorial Day is going to be that one.
Yeah,
they're doing like 4 of them, I think. New York, Florida.
Yeah,
and I forget the other 2.
Yeah, we went down to Florida. So,
nice.
Not to say that you won't see me in New York. I might be in New York playing, but Showtime will be in Florida.
Cool. All right. Looking forward to seeing the lives on that one. Wishing you the best of luck. Let's get the predictions, though, gentlemen.
All right.
Let's hit that real quick. Start the first game of the day. X-Dogs, Outlaw. Second meeting all time between these two. First meeting was 32-0 a month ago. Let's see who we all got. Let's start off with you, Keith Giles.
We're going to throw up the X with the X-Dogs in this one. No questions asked.
All right, X-Dogs there. I got X-Dogs as well. Ross, who do you got?
X-Dogs.
Ross got the X-Dogs. Boo, this is going to be a tough question. X-Dogs or Outlaws?
X-Dogs 27-6.
What's your advice to Outlaws right now? They haven't scored a point yet this season.
Don't do too much is what I tell every quarterback and new team that try to come out. They try to run all these weird-ass plays and shit. Just do curls, slants, and outs. At least that way you're not getting sacks. You're not throwing interceptions. You can at least control the ball a little bit, get a couple first downs. And you can keep the game interesting, but so many teams rotate quarterbacks after 3 plays and all that shit. So they just got to do the easy shit.
They need to stay with Ty Pre. I like the guy they used last week. Stay with him. I think that's your best option, at least with what you have on your roster right now.
Right. Yeah.
Next matchup, second game of the week. It's X-Dogs Spartans. Keith, who do you got?
Oh, man. I am so excited to film this game. I'm going to go with the X-Dogs.
X-Dogs. All right.
I'm going to go with the X-Dogs.
Ross, who do you got?
What score? By what score?
What score?
I could really see this being a field goal game. The X-Dogs have the kicker. I think this is going to come down to a field goal, maybe not necessarily at the end, but at some point. Let's go 24-21.
Okay, you
Nice.
see more offense. The last game had a lot of defense too when they played back in the fall.
Yeah.
Ross, who do you got?
That's the
Ross has the X Dogs. All right. Myself, I gotta say this. I'm going Spartans in this one, but I'm gonna go Spartans in a 18-12 kind of game. One of those games where each side goes back and forth. They don't score a lot, but it turns out to be a game where they get just enough points to win. It's tough though. X Dogs have only 4 losses on that field all time. 3 of them to Chris Boone.
Damn. Ain't that something? Damn. Man, you know the only time I've lost to the X Dogs was at that damn 2017 fall when it had that fucking monsoon rain the day before that we come in there and couldn't run. That shit fucked us up. It fucked me up. I'll say that.
That field was pretty torn up when we played.
It was bad.
Yeah. I remember filming the ground after the championship game and even saying, like, are we even going to play here next fall or next spring or whatever?
Yeah, it was bad. So, and that was my first year playing 9-man. So when shit got tight and tough, I really didn't have any plays or anything to go to because at that point I hadn't learned it yet. So, but yeah, fuck that year.
Going on to the next game. Actually, no. Did I ask you, Boo? Who you got?
No, you didn't.
I did not.
Now,
all right.
Is Kinsler and Brady coming?
Man, they have not said one way or another. Now, if they are there, who do you got?
If they're there, I go 2019 X Dogs.
All right.
If the Spartan, if they're not there, this game could get ugly. Spartans could run away with this shit. They could beat about 2 touchdowns if Brady and Kinsler's not there.
I could definitely see that because right now the Dogs are lacking in rushers at the moment.
Yeah, if they don't have them, there's no way they can cover the Spartans receivers. They have no chance.
Yeah. That was a big issue of X Dogs last fall was just their secondary was just not able to keep up for a lot of the receiving corps in the 4 states.
So, yeah. So the safe bet is to do what you did and pick the Spartans. Just because if Brady and Kinsler ain't there, I don't see them winning.
I agree with that. Third game of the day, we got Spartans and Venom. Keith, who do you got?
That's going to be the Spartans.
Spartans. All right. I'm going to go with, because Ross is in the kitchen. Here he is. Who do you got, Ross? Spartans or Venom?
Spartan.
Spartan. All right. Bye, Ross. I'm going to go Spartans as well. Like, I think Lucas is going to play hard, but that Spartans defense, they know his tendencies. They know his capabilities. You know damn Dame is going to be all over him in that game. And going up against a Damian K-Sign defense for a young quarterback, that's a tough draw, especially once Dame gets talking. He might be able to get in Lucas's head, and I think that's where Lucas is going to struggle at. And if Lucas can't win the mental game against Dame, he's not going to win the physical game.
Yeah, the Spartans should win probably pretty easy, really. I don't think people realize how actually good and smart Dame is because most people focus on all the trash talk and all the other shit that goes with it. But, I mean, the dude's smart. He knows what he's doing, so he can definitely scheme up some shit. So I don't see Lucas being able to run around on them with Dame running the defense. So,
yeah.
And the Spartans offense will probably score a bunch of points, so it'll be at least 28. If Lucas, he might get 6, maybe 27-6, something like that, 28-6.
And you got to wonder when you look at this Venom receiving core, how are they going to go up against a defense where you got Sean Parker, Brandon Cato, and Cortez Boyce all in the secondary?
Right. Yeah. Damn, they got all of them?
Yeah, KFFL, they have all of them. And Washington County, or whatever that league's called, not so much.
Oh, okay. That's why I was wondering. I was like, man, I thought Boyce was with somebody else. I thought
Nah,
Cortez.
Ted's brought up here first week on Spartans for the first 2 games.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah. Then, yeah. If Dame's got his lockdown corners, then he can just send 5 at Lucas and keep him in the pocket, and it'll be a wrap.
Yeah. I don't get me wrong. I think Lucas, if Lucas can run the ball, if he just happens to be able to get away, they're going to need to play possession the whole time to win.
Yeah.
I don't think their defense can fully shut down Keenan unless Pat gets to that outside edge. If Pat can't get to Keenan, it's a wrap. So I'm going to go Spartans by about 3 touchdowns here. I think that puts up a fight early on, but as the game goes on, the Spartans' superior athletes wear them down.
Right. I mean, Lucas did surprise me back there the first time I seen him back there playing quarterback. I mean, he plays pretty solid. He just relies on his running ability, and that ain't going to get you. But so far, once you can shut down, you can lock up everybody and contain him with 5, he ain't going to have nowhere to go.
It was brought up to me last Sunday under a bridge in the border of Maryland and West Virginia by a river. They asked, does Lucas remind you a lot of a young TJ? Chris, you knew young TJ. In fact, I believe you were the man who introduced TJ Williams to his playing career way back in the day.
I had TJ playing flag football with me from the time he was like 14 years old. I mean, he was traveling with us all over the place, when he was in high school. So, so TJ's that player that's actually smarter than you think also, because a lot of people give him shit about he does this or does that, but he actually does know football. So, I think TJ has better route concepts with his receivers. He at least knows where to put them and take them, to whereas the games that I watched Lucas, it looked like they were just playing backyard football so he can run around.
Lucas a little bit with how they run that offense reminds me a little bit more of what Justin Fox and Market Street Mayhem did. And, of course, in your case, Boo, you saw that with the Warriors in that semifinal a few years ago.
Right.
Quarterback. That sort of offense.
Right.
Let him run around and use his quick feet to make guys miss, which can be effective. Don't get me wrong. Like, Fox got Market Street to 2 championships 5 years ago doing that exact approach.
Wow.
What it boils down to, though, is having the athletes around you to make that work 100%.
Right. Yeah, because if they don't have to guard or cover half of your team, they're not going to give a shit. So you'll be able to sag guys, and like I said, Dame will send 5 or whatever team will send 5 at him, and he won't have nowhere to go. So, I mean, shit, he's just starting out, though. He's a young kid. I mean, how old is he? Maybe 24, 25, if he's that old?
I think someone told me 22 or 3.
Okay, so he's even younger. So,
yeah, I mean, he's a young man.
If he can find a group of guys that'll stick with him while he struggles for a year or so, till he learns the game a little bit more, he could be okay later on down the line.
I got faith in him. I definitely got faith in him. Final game of the day. It's going to be Killer Bees and Venom. Keith, you're playing in the game, so you can't make a pick. Ross, who do you got? Killer Bees or the West Virginia Vet? What Bees team is showing up? Is this the A team with Tay, Tyler, and Lurie? Right. Is this the B team with the rest of the guys? Or is it the C team where a roadshow plays quarterback?
I think it's going to be the most interesting game of the day.
You think? I think so, too. Like, that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. If you got T. Spence in the secondary, if you got Tay Sosa, Q, and you throw in Dirt Boy, I think the Bees run away with this 100%.
I'm going to go Bees, but I think it's going to be a close game.
You got Bees?
Scores or anything like that.
I think it'll be a close game too, but I think a lot of it also depends on what the Bees come out with. There were hints earlier in the broadcast. There may not be a Tay Sosa on Saturday. And if there's no Tay, whose day is it?
There were no hints at all. I said nor one way nor the other. Thank you very much. So you just have to wait and see. I am not releasing any sort of team strategy whatsoever, sir.
I like that strategy also.
All right.
I've always been a fan of that. You know that.
We'll see what the Bees got. I'm looking forward to it. I think it all depends who they got. Like, you got Bees? Bees close?
Most interesting game of the day.
Yeah. I feel like like I said, it goes back to like what they got. Like, don't get me wrong, if they got the guys there, they're going to win this game handily. I feel like, but if they don't, and you have the issues that we saw in week 1, where despite all the talent they have on that team, like Polo and Zabir and Moats and Chad and Carlos, to name a few.
Damn, all of them are in the Bees.
Yeah, they're all on the Bees. Taylor Suitors, another guy we know. Yeah, Bees got a pretty loaded roster. It's just the biggest issues I've seen with them so far is depending on who's there, what the leadership is going in. If they're in the same place they were against the Spartans a month ago in that first game in KFFL where they didn't have Tay, Tyler, or Lurie.
Right.
Who's the leader of that team? Like, you see it yourself, Boone. If the guys who are usually there as the leaders are not around, who's next in line?
Yeah, I remember watching that week 1 game. They looked like shit.
Yeah, and it was crazy to think because they had all that talent on the field and they weren't able to score. And they got blown out by Tri-State. Like I said, I just feel like if they got their guys, they'll be fine. But if they don't, I think it's going to be a close game. But to stay safe, I'm going Bees by about 1 score to 3, depending on who's there. I think if they're missing some of their guys, it'll be a much closer game. But I think they have enough to win it. Lucas can't run all day. I don't think he can run that much after that Spartans game, especially with how physical and tough they're going to be against him. I think he's going to be a little worn down for the Bees game. I'm going to go Bees. Boone, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go Bees 19-6. I don't see him running around. I mean, if they got Zabir and Moats and all those guys and Carlos, they're going to be in his back pocket as soon as he catches a snap. So I don't think he's really going to have a whole lot of room to run unless he runs backwards. And then if you do that, you could always be in 3rd and 20. So, I don't think Tay will be there. They got AFFL and they got a lot of shit coming up too. So I doubt he's going to come up there. I know he just got done playing the East Coast Nationals and, that shit takes a lot on your body. So he might be he probably sitting out this weekend. Just because, like I said, they got a lot of shit coming up, for the Misfits coming up. So I doubt he's going to take a chance on coming up there to play the Venom.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I still think Bees pull it out just enough by experience. So there's just
I think if they have Larry or even if Houston goes back here and runs around, Venom's defense is not going to be able to pull his flag. So they'll at least win, 19-7, 19-6, something like that. I mean, there's a chance that Venom could score late and make it like 19-13 or something like that. But I feel for the most part, they'll have a 2-touchdown lead.
All right. That's Boone's pick of the week. That's Keith's. That's Ross. That's mine. Gentlemen, it was a nice night tonight. Any final words?
I guess final word is
go ahead, Boone.
I'd like to say thank you to all the guys in the 4-state. A lot of people reached out to me after we won and shit like that. Everybody congratulated us and all that shit. And, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that, supports us and us traveling and watches our games and all that shit. That shit means a lot because we all pretty much family. We all take time out of our lives to go out there on the field, talk to each other, play, have a good time. So we spend a lot of time together, and we're all like family. So I want to thank everybody for all the support they gave us when we won.
And we want to thank you, Boone, for bringing a championship back home.
Definitely. So,
I have
Shit showtime.
I have three shout outs that I would like to give here tonight. Boone, shout out to you. Congratulations on your ring.
Thank you, sir.
The second shout out is once again to my Orioles for the no-hitter today. Good work, guys. Love it. And the third shout out is to TJ Williams. He has made me some Try Hard shirts. He made me a mask and some hats. So shout out and appreciate it, my man.
Good stuff. Hey, y'all have a good night. Ross, it was good talking to you. Joey and my man, I'll see y'all guys soon. I think I'm gonna come up Saturday and watch the games. So I'll see y'all up there.
All right, Boone.
All right, catch you later, Boone.
All right, fellas.
Have a good night, champ.
Thank you.
Chris Boone joining us. He's won so many championships, he already forgot about beating the Bees last season.
I guess time flies when you're having fun, right? Yeah.
Got to give it to him, man. All he does is win, 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 no matter what. He could never get enough. Anyway, anywho, for Chris Webb, Lucas Hall, Damian Cason, Chris Boone, Ross Collins, and Keith Giles, I'm Joey Blaze saying good night. We'll see you Saturday morning, 8 a.m., X-Dogs, Outlaws, followed by at 9:15 the game of the week, Spartans, X-Dogs, followed by Spartans, Villains at 10:30. And
Spartans Venom. Spartans Venom.
Spartans Venom. There you go. I was looking at the Villains jersey. And then to wrap up the day, we got Bees Venom. It's going to be lit. It's going to be legit. It's the Keystone Flag Football League. We got another season. We're about almost done. It's playoff time. The heat is on, and the KFFL.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.